Hey folks, this is Matt once again, and this time with a review of a film that First Power 100 sent me the DVD for. Thank you very much for that. My friend Effrey had talked very highly of this film. He had sent me a DVD-R of this film, and that is a film called Running Scared, a buddy cop film from 1986, starring Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal, directed by Peter Hyams. And Peter Hyams is a director I'm a fan of. I put him in my top 10 favorite directors. I haven't seen every single one he's done, but a lot of the stuff I've seen, like 2010, I really enjoy End of Days, The Relic, Stay Tuned, Time Cop, Sudden Death. I mean, I think Peter Hyams has done a lot of good films. He's done some bad films like A Sound of Thunder, but he's done a lot of good films. And Running Scared is one of them. I guess I just say this is sort of an underrated buddy cop film. It's sad that this DVD doesn't have anything on it. It's bare bones, which is sad. I think the film could have a special edition. I mean, look at that. Not even much care for that. No liner notes, nothing. I mean, they did nothing for the DVDs. I think one of my friends said that on the older DVD, there's maybe a teeny bit of stuff from back in the day, but I don't even know if that's even much of anything. This deserves a special edition. Why not? The film made around 38 million bucks. It was must have been enough because there was a sequel planned called Still Running. But apparently, Gregory Hines and Billy Crystal thought the scripts were not up to par, so thus there was no sequel. Although I did find that kind of funny because, Billy Crystal. What about City Slickers 2? Even though I don't hate City Slickers 2, but I'm like, was City Slickers 2 script up to par with Curly's twin and the gold and fucking John Lovitz? But anyway, Running Scared pretty much is a buddy cop film where these two guys are in Chicago, action comedy, and they're going after Jimmy Smits, this guy who pretty much wants to be the new king of the drug trade, as it says here, the new Spanish Godfather with cocaine and among other stuff. And it shows that these guys have a good back and forth with each other. I think that's what really makes the film work is they have a fun back and forth, and they kind of act like kids in a way during police work. It's not the kind of dialogue that I can spit from the top of my head, but at the same time, when you listen to them, you just see there's a certain energy to it. There's a certain fun back and forth that these two guys are really having fun, and that's why I would like to see a special edition of this because Gregory Hines is no longer with us, of course. And it'd be nice to hear Billy Crystal's thoughts on it. If they were willing to do a sequel, just they wanted the script to be right. That means maybe they did like doing this film. And Billy Crystal, like Gregory Hines, he's a really good actor. It's sad that he's no longer with us. And he was in Wolfen, although I wish he was the star of Wolfen, to be honest. And then Billy Crystal was one of those weird guys that I like him, but to be honest, there's not many films he's done that I'm like, wow, that's a great film. If I go through it, I'm not counting small roles like The Princess Bride. I mean, I just say I like Throw Mama from the Train. City Slickers is still my favorite. Uh, let's see. Father's Day, it could have been better, but overall I liked it. Let's see. Really, that's. I mean, City Slickers, this film. City Slickers 2, again, I don't hate, but it's definitely a step down. Forget Paris, I don't care for. Mr. Saturday Night, I don't care for. I don't like When Harry Met Sally. I've never cared for that film. Um, there has been like tons of films. I mean, My Giant is alright, but it's sad that it's just not a lot of, just in my opinion, great films. And really looking through it, the reason I wanted to look through it, This is pretty much the only film he's done that's in the action genre, let alone action comedy. There's not really any films I saw there that was an action comedy, which is sad. I don't know why. I don't know why. People see this film. It made 38 million. Why not have him more? But these two worked very well together. Like at the beginning, they pretend to be bums, but then they see a basketball game. Billy Crystal starts having fun playing these guys in basketball, and some guy just punches him in the face. And Gregory Hines gets upset, and then they have this chase in which you have Jimmy Smits and as the main bad guy. And you also have Joe Pantoliano, who's been in The Matrix and The Goonies. You see him in a lot of stuff. And they chase him. And this one time about the fun is he has this briefcase with a shitload of money, and he's like, "You got nothing on me." So Billy Crystal goes out to the neighborhood and basically tells everybody that this guy, you guys are the new neighborhood patrol because you gotta protect this guy because he's got $50,000. All right, we don't want anyone hurting him. We don't want anyone mess with him. So of course, now Joe Pantoliano is scared that someone's going to kick the shit out of him to get the money. Says that you gotta take me in. Throughout the film, we meet up with Billy Crystal. He has an ex-wife. Gregory Hines, he has this girl that he sees from time to time. They go to this funeral for Billy Crystal's aunt, and then you find out later that the aunt left Billy Crystal a big sum of money. And during it, they get mud, and it's like, oh yeah, yeah, we really want to keep these wallets and especially these badges. They're going through all this stuff. They give each other shit. Like they shoot at the car, and it's like, I can't believe you missed all 6 shots. What are you telling me? All 6 shots hit the windshield, and they have a fun back and forth. It's hard saying it in a review why without showing clips. That's why it'd be nice to show clips. But they just have a good energy rapport between each other. And anyway, one thing leads to another. They set up Joey Pantoliano in the sting operation, but then they get the drop. They get the bad guys onto them, and then there's two other cops who we find out are cops. One's Stephen Bauer from Scarface, and the other is Jonathan Grease, who was in. He played the guy who would become the Wolfman in the Monster Squad. He was in Fright Night 2 as one of the vampires that kind of turned to a wolf-like creature. He was also in Napoleon Dynamite. They save Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines, but at the same time, Crystal and Hines get Jimmy Smits. And the boss, the captain, played by Dan Hedaya. This is a guy who's been in Daylight. He's been in a lot of films. Basically says, you guys got to go on vacation. They don't like that, so they go to Key West. And then it shows scenes where they're in Key West, and they're really enjoying it down there. They're really enjoying it down there. They really decide ultimately that they want to quit and be down there. And that's where you get the title Running Scared, because then Billy Crystal is very paranoid that he doesn't want to get shot. He has a bulletproof vest. They don't want to. They're more cautious than they used to. And the captain says something interesting. When once you start getting cautious, that's when you start getting hurt. So especially Billy Crystal getting more cautious on it, because they want to work at this bar in Key West after like 30 days, but then Jimmy Smits is out, so they want to take care of him. It just you have a lot of fun stuff. For instance, when they meet up with this old woman, but then the kid like is behind the door giving Gregory Hines keeps giving him the finger like right behind. It's like a little kid too. And then when they leave, Gregory Hines knocks on the door and the little kid answers. And Gregory Hines goes, "Yeah!" That was pretty funny. There's another moment where they go in to try to get these bad guys, and they try to get Jimmy Smits, and Jimmy Smits leaves in a hurry, and he doesn't have his pants on. So he gets a hostage and tells the guys to give him a pair of pants. And he, just Gregory, Billy Crystal's like, no, we gotta give him. So Billy Crystal throws it and misses. And Hines like, you did that shit on purpose. So I'm not giving up my pants. He's like, fine, we let him kill us as long as we keep our pants. But at the same time, this is an R-rated film. Uh, Action scene wise, it's not like you don't have a lot of breathtaking action scenes. Probably the best action scene, not even probably, the best action scene is there's a car chase where Hines and Billy Crystal have this taxi that's bulletproof, and they're chasing Jimmy Smits in another car, and it goes onto these railroad tracks. And that's a fun chase sequence. Like they go through, almost playing chicken with the train, having to get away from it, chasing on these railroad tracks. That's that's the best action scene in the movie. Ultimately, it ends up with Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines. Billy Crystal's ex-wife gets taken. He has got to go in because Jimmy Smits wants his drugs back, and Gregory Hines has to sneak in. It's like this big office building, and they basically got the bad guys' guns, which are Uzis, and shoot the bad guys and save the ex-wife, who's going to probably be Billy Crystal's wife again, and save the day. And what makes this film work, what's hard to talk about without sharing clips, is, I mean, it's a plot you've seen done before. It's a buddy cop film where two cops go after some guy who wants some drugs or who's a drug kingpin. But what makes it work, and it's not because it has tons and tons of action sequences that are incredibly well staged. It's because these two work very well together. They have a good chemistry together. They bounce off each other very well. They're very funny. They The soundtrack's all right. Soundtrack's okay. Trying to think what else. What was how I was going to put in the words. I like the idea that it kind of makes sense that at least Billy Crystal's character's a little bit iffy. Gets a bulletproof vest and shows that these guys want to quit. In fact, I think it would have been more interesting that they said, fuck it, we quit. That they actually follow through on their choice of quitting, moving to Key West, but of course they don't. They decide not to do that. But still, the last sequence is fun. They're back and forth, and the freeze frame. That piece of music, which I don't know what the song is. Oh, yeah, you have another fun scene where Jimmy Smits grabs them with a garbage truck and is turning them over in order to crush their car. And as they're stuck there, Bill Crystal's bitching, "What about that $10 you owe me?" And Hines like, "Do you want it now?" This is a fun movie. I mean, I know it seems like a shorter than usual review, but I don't know what more can I say about Running Steer. The acting works, Billy Crystal and Gregory Hines, they work extremely well together. Would have been interesting to see what a sequel would have done. It would have been nice to see special features. Be nice to hear Billy Crystal interview about the film, Peter Hyams interview about the film. It would have been nice to see Billy Crystal do these kind of, because I like Billy Crystal, but it's just not a lot of movies. I'm like, yes, that's a great movie. It would have been nice to see him in this genre a little bit more. I think it would have been fine, but maybe people didn't want to. Oh, come on, Billy Crystal, but he worked very well in this, and as did Gregory Hines, and it's too bad. It's too bad that didn't happen. Peter Hyams, he shot it well. He wasn't glossy, wasn't MTV. Of course, this is 1986, so. And he was also the executive producer as well as the director. The screenplay worked well. Gave Gary Devore and Jimmy Huston. I don't know if any of it was improv, but if there was a special edition, maybe we could know. But yeah, Running Steer, fun buddy cop film. If you like buddy cop films, you want to see two guys who have some really good chemistry. Jimmy Smits, he did fine as the bad guy. It's a fun movie. It's an entertaining film, definitely worth your time. So either way, thanks for watching, take care, and we'll see you later.